Good day, great day, and grand day to you all. Welcome back on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. My name is Dr. Terry Audate, and today we're going to continue the topic of the Serene Mastery of Forgiveness, Part 2. In the previous video that I shared, I talked about 5 aspects out of 10 aspects of forgiveness and the importance of them. Today I'm going to continue with the remaining 5. The 6th component or the aspect of forgiveness is being able to set boundaries. Just because you're on this journey of forgiving others and you want to release this pain, this anger, this frustration, this need for revenge within you, or this need to seek revenge on someone else for them doing wrong or doing you wrong or treating you in a certain way that was unfavorable, it is so important for you to set those boundaries. Just because you have forgiven them doesn't mean you have to let them completely back into your life. You have to set those boundaries. Because if you don't, that person is liable, or that situation is liable to occur again. It may not be immediate, but it can happen again. Most likely it will happen again if you don't set those boundaries. Setting those boundaries will allow that person to really reflect on what happened and decide whether or not they want to alter or change their behavior for the better. If you're not setting those boundaries, you're setting yourself up for failure in the sense of being caught up in that same situation again and again and again and again. So when you're setting boundaries, forgiving someone doesn't mean that you have to just trust them blindly or allow them to hurt you again. It's important for you to establish those boundaries so that you can protect yourself. When you're looking at the spiritual component of your higher self being able to guide you through that process, your spirit will tell you when it's time or how to allow this person back into your life. Your spirit, when you have that relationship with your spirit, with your essence, you will feel deep down when it's time to let down some of those guards. Making that decision egotistically or by your own volition will not be beneficial. Remember, your spirit knows all. Remember, your essence, that gut, knows all, and it'll know things about that person that you won't know. So you have to trust it. You have to trust your gut. So allow your gut to tell you when you feel it deep down. Allow that feeling sense to let you know when is a good time to let some of those boundaries down or to let some of those guards down. Refrain from making that decision by your own mind and volition. Another aspect of forgiveness is being able to release that resentment. Forgiveness allows letting go of all the negative emotions and the desire, like I've mentioned before, to seek revenge. You can actually do this practice releasing that resentment. You can use meditation to do that. You can use journaling to do that. I know journaling for me in the past has been very transformative in the sense that I'm able to write down a lot of my angers, a lot of my resentments, a lot of my feelings, things that I may not have been able to share with that person or anyone else. I'm letting it go on paper. I'm putting pen to paper and I'm writing it all down, not caring how it sounds, not caring what's being said, but I'm releasing it from my essence, from my body, from my mind. And journaling is a great tool to do that. Some people may want to engage in exercising to try to release some of that energy. I know for me specifically, when I've gone through a situation many years ago, I actually purchased a freestanding punching bag and I filled it up with water. There was a big round drum at the bottom. I filled it up with water and I kickboxed the heck out of that freestanding boxing glove. So releasing energy using or doing physical activities can also be a viable component to releasing some of that resentment. That energy is in this body. You want to let it go. You want to let it out. And it's a healthy way, using activities to kind of release some of that energy. Now, again, it will be released on a physical level, but then there's also an emotional component and a spiritual component that you have to consider and you have to embark in terms of releasing that energy. All right. Another aspect of forgiveness is acceptance. You have to accept the fact that it happened. You can't change the past, but you can certainly change how situations like this may affect you in the future. Now, I say that because if you haven't learned from the situation, it will happen again. And learning why, or asking yourself, engaging in a questioning stance when you're working with your insides, when you're working with your essence, when you're working with your spirit, engaging your spirit and asking, why did this happen? What are the lessons? That component is very important when embarking on a forgiveness journey. And so being able to accept that it happened. No, you can't change what happened, but accept it and engage in a questioning stance with your essence. What are the lessons? What is it that I have to learn from this situation? Because it takes two to tango. Now, I keep saying two or the other person. I'm just using those events because those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, because oftentimes when someone hurts you, it's just a one-on-one reciprocal situation that's happening. Sometimes it may be a group of people, but for the most part, I'm talking about one-on-one. Not to say that you can't forgive others as well if it's a group situation. Absolutely. But I'm just referring to, one-on-one relational events. Please excuse me. All of this applies to if a group of people has hurt you as well. All right. The component of being able to accept the situation for what it is and engaging in this question stance with your spirit will help you to heal on multiple levels or through multiple situations that has happened in the past. And when you engage in this stance of questioning with your spirit, you're asking your spirit, what is the lesson? How did I get into this situation? Why was this situation allowed to happen? I'll tell you why. It was allowed to happen because there was a lesson in there designed for you. The lesson had your name on it. And so it's important to, when you're on this spiritual journey, to ask yourself, what is the lesson that I have to learn in this situation? Why did this, not necessarily why did this happen to me, but yes, it happened. It is what it is, but there's a reason why it happened. And you have to seek the reason in the why. You have to seek the reason as to why it happened so that you can learn from that situation, grow from that situation, have understanding about the situation so that you can continue the journey of your spiritual growth and development. And lastly, I have two more actually. The ninth thing is being able to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is so vital. It's such an essential component. Why should you forgive yourself? In addition to forgiving the person. When we embark on this journey of the spiritual development, of seeking clarity, of understanding your highest and best good, understanding your highest self, you want to operate in the sense of always operating for your betterment, always seeking light, always seeking good, better, and best, if you will, which my mentor has said many, many, many a times. Always seeking good, better, and best. You're a spiritual being operating on this physical plane as a spiritual. You are a spiritual being in this human form, and the intention is to grow and grow and grow. But there was an event that occurred on this journey, and your body felt it. Your physical body, you felt it viscerally. Your emotional body, you felt it emotionally. Your spiritual bodies, you felt it energetically. This event has caused an impact in your etherical form. And as a result, you have taken in anger, you have taken in pain, you have taken in resentment, you have taken in the thoughts, you have entertained the thoughts of revenge. What do you think that energy is going to do to your spirit? What do you think that energy is going to do to your essence? Whenever you entertain such thoughts, the negative thoughts and the positive thoughts, or your higher self or your essence, the two energies can't coexist. Your light and the dark thoughts that you entertain cannot coexist. So what happens? When you entertain anger, when you entertain that vengeance, you edge a part of your aspect out of this being. You edge it out a little bit because, again, light and dark cannot coexist. And so the essence of forgiving yourself is forgiving yourself for allowing that energy to infiltrate your being and edging your essence out. You're forgiving yourself for even allowing yourself to spend time in that negative energy, in that negative ambience. You're forgiving yourself for allowing that energy to actually impact you on a molecular cellular level. And so forgiving yourself is a quintessential essence of forgiveness. Once you've done that, you've released the energies, you've released the resentment, you've let go. And lastly, reconciliation. Being able to reconcile with the individual who has done you wrong. I have to say that that's not always possible. Sometimes we have to not only let go, but to let the person go. Sometimes we have to disconnect, or sometimes we have to just allow that relationship to be severed. Reconciliation is possible, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to allow it towards your or for your detriment. If it means that for you to reconcile will continue to bring you harm, discomfort, dis-ease, right? Or it's a constant violation of who you are spiritually, then reconciliation is not an option in that particular moment. It may be an option later on. It may be an option when the person themselves have sought a lifestyle where they want to go and embark on a journey of self-healing and self-discovery. But in that moment, or in recent times of trying to understand all that's been happening, or in immediately after this situation, or perhaps a couple of months, perhaps the situation was so grave that you're not able to repair that relationship. And that's okay. But forgive them anyway. Forgive them anyway, so that you can release those energies from you. And so, just to sum up, forgiveness is a powerful act of emotional and spiritual growth. Emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical growth. It's a gift that you give to yourself. Again, it's not for the forgiven, it's for you, the forgiver. And with that, I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of the Serene Mastery of Forgiveness. Remember that you're loved. Mwah! Namaste.
And there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Please remember to click that subscribe button, click the bell notification, and leave your comments down below. And remember that you are loved. Thank you all for watching. Mwah! Namaste. Bye.